My name is Melissa White, and I am an instructional designer with Academic Innovations and e-learning, and I'm going to talk about today Pecha Kucha and Pecha Flickr, which are some presentation techniques that you can use either for lessons with your students, but also I think there's a really great opportunity to use them for developing communication of students and for individual or group presentations. And so the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to, I believe last time I did full application sharing of my desktop, and so ideally the presentation you should follow along because it's a timed format, but if not, just give me a buzz and I will manually move the slides. I'm going to share the folder of the materials that I'm working with today. One of the items is an agenda with links to resources, and the other is my presentation. So there's something about clicking and talking at the same time that is challenging. So is everyone able to see my Pecha Kucha presentation file? I got one check mark. Lori, how about you? Great. Okay. So this is going to be about, I've shortened the format because I haven't done one of these online, and so I also wanted to provide time for us to interact with each other. But this presentation straight through is going to be about 3.5 to 4 minutes, just to give you an idea of what's going to happen. And I'm going to switch this over to presentation view. First, make sure I published it to the web. So here's another learning moment, if for those of you who are not familiar, to publish a Google presentation to the web and set it to auto advance. You can do that right from within the document or the presentation. Looks like mine's already published for that amount of time. All right, does everyone see the presentation view? Okay, here we go. It's taking a little, let's see, let me check the chat window. Oh, and it looks like we have someone else joining, so I'll give them a moment as well. I always provide myself when I do a workshop session with a good amount of buffer time because I appreciate that there's, always going to be a technical issue potentially, and it might take a little bit to get started. Jane Jones, it looks like you just joined us. We all just introduced ourselves. Would you mind introducing yourself and saying where you're from and what you teach or do at the university?
Sure. I work for Kenai Peninsula College. I teach all distance. I'm in charge of the digital art degree, the all online digital art degree, and I teach mostly photography and art history and things like that. I apologize for just being a few minutes late.
Very good, thank you, and no worries. I myself joined with 1 minute to spare because I came from another meeting, so I'm just getting started now. Is everybody able to see the first slide in the presentation? It says wow at the top. Wonderful. All right, so in the spirit of modeling, as us instructional designers do our best to do, I am going to, rather than tell you what this session is about, I am going to use the Pecha Flickr format to talk to you about what Pecha Flickr and Pecha Kucha are. So as I mentioned before you joined, the last of you joined, this is timed, so we'll do questions and dialogue at the end, but the idea with this format is that it runs straight through. So I'm going to be the slides are going to auto-advance on me, so I'm going to be trying to stay right on point. So hold on here, and here we go. So what is a Pecha Kucha? Well, Pecha Kucha is a presentation format where you have 20 slides with individual images, and each slide auto-advances every 20 seconds. I have modified this to be 15 slides with 15 seconds each. How did it start? So Pecha Kucha started when architects in Tokyo in 2003 decided to have a new presentation format. They were in a bar in a social environment, and you know, architects, they found, could tend to go on and on, you know, with PowerPoints, death by PowerPoint, bullet slides. So they needed a new format for giving dynamic presentations to groups of people. And of course, like, using images and having this format is aligned with storytelling, which is something that's we've done since the beginning of civilization, and something that's a powerful teaching method, as we all know. And so this isn't new. And in addition, with Pecha Kucha, by creating a presentation this way, you then have a digital story. So it enables you and your students to share, to publish, and develop those digital literacy skills that are so important today. A good Pecha Kucha story may tell a personal story. It may have something unexpected happen. It could be funny. Really, it's going to be something that resonates with the presenter, because that in turn will resonate with your audience. So what to present? Well, for example, I have a friend who's a biologist who goes to St. Paul and gets to work with the fur seals. So for her, that may be a great subject of Pecha Kucha in the future. Why Pecha Kucha? Because images have power. You know, there's a power of imagery. This is a photo from Hurricane Sandy in 2012, and this image tells part of a story that you couldn't tell necessarily with facts and figures. We have short attention spans, squirrel, right? Everybody's heard that phrase. It's something we say in our office a lot. You know, really in a presentation, you may have people for an hour, but you may only have their attention for 10 minutes. And so how can you actually capitalize on that? It forces your message to have a purpose. So you have to plan it out. And so for students, this is really important when they're given limited amount of time. They have to have a purpose behind their message, because you only have so many words and so many images. A way to practice this is with Pecha Flickr, which I'm going to demonstrate and we're all going to practice. So you can set up a Pecha Flickr to randomly give you images that the students can talk to, and that's a way to practice communication skills in a low-stakes environment. Pecha Flickr could be used by individuals, by groups, so there's a scaffolding with it, and then there are also Pecha Kucha events internationally. So it's something that could be developed within a classroom or at a community level. The spirit of Pecha Kuchas are social. So around the country, the events are held in bars and restaurants and places where people are thinking and drinking, as Pecha Kucha would like to say. And it develops community. And as many of us know, like in Alaska, community is essential. It's essential not only for our survival, but in the arts and the humanities and the science. And so I think Pecha Kucha is in line with the spirit of that, and that Anchorage would make a wonderful place to have Pecha Kucha. I mean, I just think of the people that I know who would be able to present. You know, we have environmental scientists here, we have civil engineers, we have young politicians, we have, you know, people who are linguists with the Alaska Native languages, and artists. And so with all that creativity and innovation, there is a great opportunity. And this is my last slide. So that was an example. Whew, now I got to take a breath. Thanks, Katie. Of a Pecha Kucha. Now that one was a little bit quicker. That was actually in a 15 seconds for 15 slides. The traditional Pecha Kucha format is 20 seconds per slide for 20 slides, which is a total of 6 minutes. So does anyone have any questions? I'm sure there may be. I know some people joined right as I was speaking, so that probably was confusing.
I just want to clarify what you mean by you want to have Pecha Kucha here in Anchorage. So that would be like a club with Is that what you mean, like with regularly scheduled speakers? Or is it scheduled, or is it just open mic?
So that's a really good question, Katie, and information that I covered very briefly in the slides. So there's kind of different levels. So I think that Pecha Kuchas, and more with the 6-minute format, the one I did obviously was faster and more hurried. I think it makes a great format for group presentations for students, or as a challenge for faculty or instructional designers. The actual Pecha Kucha models have an event. You apply with their nonprofit to use their logo and branding and to hold that event in your city, and then the coordinator, which I've applied to be a coordinator for Anchorage, then gets speakers. So anyone can be a speaker, but you do have to sign up to be a speaker. It's not like an open mic. You have to sign up in advance, and there's a schedule for that evening. Does that answer your question?
Are these shared through URLs, or how do people go to them and view them once you've created it?
So that's a great question. There is, and I will share this in the chat window because I know the browser is a little slower. When you agree to hold a Pecha Kucha event, which I have done, so part of this is me getting the word out that this is going to happen. That's part of the goal of this session, and part of the goal of this session is to give you ideas for students, which I'd like us to brainstorm in this session as well. When you have an official Pecha Kucha event, part of the agreement is that you upload the videos from the session into onto their website. So similar to TED Talks, for example, anyone can go and watch Pecha Kucha videos from all over the world. Now, if it's something that you did in a class with students or for your own instructional purposes, you don't necessarily have to upload it. You can use this format for educational purposes on its own. So does anyone have ideas for how they might, if they think that this kind of format, this dynamic format would work in their class or for their instruction or for a presentation, or what would be challenging about it as well?
I see that Lori's typing, but I'll go ahead and just say, yeah, I think it would be really great in the College of Ed for just students that the more practice they have in presenting it in different ways, the better. We teach a lot of our classes over Collaborate, so it would take us probably a little while to figure out the best way to do it over Collaborate.
Yes, and that was something fun for me to think about as well, Katie, because for example, one little thing is Google the slides, you can either time them to 15 seconds or 30 seconds. Or you could screen share and use PowerPoint, which you can decide that. But yeah. And Lori, you had a comment trying to think of applications for health science. What are some areas of subjects in health science that you have? Just want to wrap my head around what health science covers.
Well, for me, I'm stepping out of my nursing role at the end of this semester, and we're starting an online medical assisting program. So it's going to cover everything from the front office kinds of things when someone checks you into the doctor's office to drawing blood. And I'm seeing this in a social sense, but I'm having trouble putting my brain around how I could utilize this.
Sure, and it's definitely not applicable for everything. One way I think it is good is for conveying chunks of information in the format of a story. So potentially there's a short process that could be conveyed in this way that would be something that students could recall, presenting research, getting people interested in research. You know, it really kind of provides a snapshot of areas of focus more than something that students could probably study from or prepare for a test or more in-depth process. It probably isn't going to work for those sorts of things. Thanks, Debbie.
You know, I'm thinking as you're talking about this, that some of the effective things that we're trying to work with and effective behaviors could be utilized for that. So I'm really curious to see how other people are thinking about using it or have used it.
And then Jen said it seemed like you wouldn't be commenting on each and every image. Might be not be enough time. Let's talk more image. Right, Jen, and that's one of the challenges. So, you know, the formats, I mean, you could do this however you want. You wouldn't have to use a Pecha Kucha model, which is very strictly 20 images, 20 seconds. Like I said, you know, for this presentation, I shortened that, and that was a little too fast for me. But there's something to me appealing about, I'm someone who likes guidelines and likes some rules. But I also think I have a creative side, and for me, you know, being restricted to the times, even that little presentation I gave you guys, which I stumbled through at moments, you know, that took time to create, to articulate what I wanted to talk about in a very limited time, which I think is an important skill for students and adults. I think oftentimes presentations are too long, and we take the time because we have it, and we're not forced to really narrow down what our message is. So Pecha Kuchas are really about getting a message or a story across. And so after presenting it to you guys, I realized I didn't think I had enough content to fill 20 slides, but I probably should have stuck with that because there were a few slides that, you know, for instance, Katie asked for clarification on that if I had taken a few more slides to explain those things, it would have been worked out.
You know, I could see it working really well for students to present portfolios on themes of work. I teach photography, and 20 is the max that you really want to do for any kind of a thing, because any more than that people get bored, like you were saying. That really is the rules we've gone by for a long time. And you're 100% right. They need practice in being much more concise. But because all my classes are all online, I'm struggling with, you know, like somebody said, how can you do it and collaborate, or how could I do it that we are all looking at the same time and having a sense of community around it. It seems like it is more kind of limited to being able to go to a specific location and then each person share their Pecha Kucha. Am I understanding that correctly?
You are. You know, I think that, and I tried to model how it could look like in an online environment. You're not, and you could do this in different online. I mean, I think there is something powerful about seeing the person on stage being animated in front of people that connects you with their message, because then you have their images, their movements, and their voice. Whereas right now, all you have is the slides that I was showing you, and everyone was seeing them, and my voice. But right now, I'm waving my hands in the air, and you aren't seeing that. And I could enable video, but there is still a piece of it missing. I think it could still work though, and it could be good in that, again, it keeps individuals or groups limited to speaking for a certain period of time, so that in an online class where time is precious, and often it starts late because, you know, people, you know, had technical difficulties joining or coming from work to join the classroom, that it makes sure that everyone gets equal time, which is something I think is very important, giving everyone equal voice. And that's a good idea, Katie. You could have a timer per person, or there could be a timer person for the slides that's going through the slides. The moderator could do that. I could have uploaded PowerPoint slides and then asked Katie, because she's always so helpful, to click the slides every 20 seconds.
that it's so funny because people call me in when they have guest speakers or students that, you know, show up for a presentation with 100 slides or something ridiculous like that. I know, and so I always hear about it because they run out of space. You know, there is a limit to how much you can upload to Collaborate. So I see this as exactly what you said. This would be great for our students who you know, they want to be teachers. They like to talk a lot. And so it would be great to have, I think, you know, this limitation, like you said. And when I first learned about this, it was in a book that I really love called Presentation Zen. And he says in the book, restrictions and limitations are not the enemy, they're a great ally.
I like that, Katie. Yeah. So I want to demonstrate a low-stakes way to practice this because it could be a little overwhelming at first or intimidating. And depending on what level your student's at, if they're undergraduate or graduate, you know, they may not have even given hardly any presentations depending on what level you're teaching them. And so this really great activity I learned about through UAS is called Pecha Flickr. Are you all seeing that screen? Got a smiley face and a check mark. Good, good. So what I'm hoping is that if I share and put myself on the spot to do this, that a couple of you will be willing to try it too. It's something that made me very nervous at first, and I've only done live in front of an audience. And I did it in front of an audience of my peers, but it was still pretty intimidating because there are about 50 of us or so, I don't know. And this one, the way the Pecha Flickr works is you have a topic, and it's something that you're knowledgeable about that you want to share. And again, this is practice. This is low stakes, right? I wouldn't recommend this necessarily for an assessment, but a way to get people comfortable speaking that is so much fun. So an area I'm interested in that I've already talked a little bit about that connects, I think, is digital storytelling. So that's something I could talk about. And so from the group, I'm going to ask you all to pick a topic for the images. And what's going to happen is I'm going to talk about digital storytelling to the images that you select. So right now it says dog, but we'll change that to if anyone in the group has an idea. Winter darkness, cabin. Those are both good ideas. I'm kind of playing with fire here, Katie, too, because we're recording this, and I'm just going right to Pecha Flickr's website. How about winter cabins as a compromise? And I'm going to shorten it because I don't need to talk to you guys for. So what's really cool, hopefully you're seeing this, is that the developers of this tool made it so that you could change the settings. And my dream is to make all my friends come over and have a Pecha Flickr party. That's how much fun I think this is and how much it's helped me in my communication, as much as I'm still for sure struggling with that, you know, as we all want to improve with our presentation. So I'm going to do 10 slides for 15 seconds each. And as you can see, it auto-calculates how long it's going to take. So when I press play, it's going to come up with winter cabins pictures, and I'm going to talk to you, somehow connect digital storytelling to whatever image is on the screen. All right, so here we go. And let me know if you can't see it. Oh no, winter cabins, not enough pictures. Let's try cabins. Are you all seeing the Pecha Flickr Get Ready screen? Looks like my computer's slowing down. All right, So digital storytelling is something that is wonderful to do over coffee, outside, like when you're camping, you know, that's something that resonates with us, right, as residents of Alaska, but even when we're visiting somewhere tropical like Hawaii. Digital storytelling allows us to use images to capture experiences that can't be described in words only. So, you know, in this photo you can see what looks like maybe Hatcher's Pass or another area with remote cabins, and it's a breathtaking view. Digital storytelling has been part of our cultures for a long time. It's something that resonates in a lot of indigenous cultures, is the idea of storytelling. And so making it digital really is just something where you're capturing it and making it available in different formats. Sometimes, you know, when you're getting ready to do digital storytelling, you may feel like you're alone on the end of the dock, but you're not, because creating digital stories is a way to connect with other people. I think that, you know, when I grew up, like when I thought of stories, reading was something that I did on my own, you know, at my grandparents' cabin, but now storytelling has become such a communal activity for me and something that I like to share. Before the digital age, these may have been pieces from an old printing press, right, that we used to use to create books. But now there are so many other tools available to create digital stories. We have so many different apps. There are so many different ways to capture media, so that you don't necessarily only have to use regular black and white photos. You could use photo applications to edit the images to look like paintings. Oh geez, this is stumping me. This activity of telling digital stories on a fly is definitely a way to wake yourself up in the morning. You know, and again, digital storytelling is something that resonates with us and allows us to capture an experience that may be unique to our sense of place and our place in the community. And unlike this sign, with digital storytelling, there are vacancies for everyone on the web, so anyone can publish, whereas with traditional printing press or journal publications, you know, you had to get peer reviewed and you have to have a publisher present for you. Okay, ooh, I made it. So that was Pecha Flickr, right? So I did not prepare that. I was prepared in that I really appreciate your encouragement and comments on the side, because there's a piece of that missing, right, doing this online even more so than a prepared presentation. This probably works better in a traditional classroom, but it's still a really fun activity. So yeah, does anyone, so again, digital storytelling is an area that I have some knowledge of. I've done workshops on, but I didn't know you were going to say cabin. So that's you know, the place where I have to get both sides of my brain working together. Would anyone else like to try to do a Pecha Flickr? I hope. You can talk about whatever you want and we won't know. That even if you're making it up, that's the beauty of it too. We have a nomination for Joe to do a Pecha Flickr.
Thanks a lot, Katie. I am asking, since I came in a little bit late to this, let me understand the steps again. As I think I understand it, is that you have a topic, digital storytelling, and then you decide to do a stream of consciousness, random kind of discussion of this based on some completely separate set of pictures, such as cabins or whatever it could be. Is that right?
It is. I chose digital storytelling, so if you are willing to volunteer, you can choose whatever topic you like, and then we will choose the images.
So I have to pick a topic, and then you're going to pick the images, and I'll just have to go with the images that you pick. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. I don't have a topic on my mind. Katie, have you got a topic for me?
How about France?
Ooh, fun.
Joe, you turned your mic off.
Oh, can you hear me now? If that's my topic, France, then what photo set would someone suggest for that?
Yeah, I'll open it up to the group. Any suggestions on an image? To go with France, but that may be completely independent. Cats. I like it. All right, are you ready, Joe?
France and cats. Okay, let's do this. Okay. So
this one doesn't count.
As we prepare, a strange-looking cat. France actually has cats that look somewhat different than the picture we have right there. And they don't say moo, they say me. Cats themselves say meow in French, and so actually cats can understand each other no matter what country they're in, whether they're in France or they're in the United States. Some people think of the French people being somewhat rude and difficult to deal with, yet when you get to know them, they actually are very sweet and can be very creative in the ways that they deal with other people. In fact, they can be absolutely artistic. French people are very family-oriented. They, no matter where they are, what part of France, they like to get together, and especially on Sunday afternoons, have long meals together. Yet at the same time, when you meet French people in certain situations, you might think of them as quite excitable, and that's one of the stereotypes that we have sometimes. They may go flying off the hook, depending on whatever happens, whereas other people might not. Yet, as you know, as I said before, the French families are generally smaller, at least in the modern days, and usually have less than 4 children or less than 4 kittens. The French president is a socialist, and and therefore sometimes is associated with the red color of the spectrum. And 7 out of 10, I'm still going. I'll do the rest in French. Il y a 2 chats qui se battent dans le photo et je ne sais pas ce qui va gagner. And then French people, I have no idea, will often have fenced-in gardens, and they have the maxim that good neighbors make good fences. And the typical French person going for a walk will not go for a walk with their cat. They will go for a walk with their dog. French and cats. The French celebration of Noël is similar to our own. However, the bigger celebration in France is New Year's, or the Jour de l'An. That's all I got. Le chat noir, Jen, you speak French, vous parlez français.
That was fantastic.
Well, Melissa, I think you did a lot better job, but thanks for the practice anyway.
So, could I ask, thank you very much. I appreciate you volunteering, because I know especially in an online environment, it's it can be even more uncomfortable. Would you mind sharing your thoughts about how that felt like? Did you enjoy that? What do you think?
Yeah, I did. I actually enjoyed it. I wasn't planning on actually doing any talking. I was just going to be one of these lurkers at this session today. But it does kind of wake you up. It does. If you're talking about this as something to do with students, it does create an energy and an engagement in all of the students, not just the one that's kind of on a hot seat, I think. Because they don't know what's going to go on. It's not one of those prepared lessons. I'm just thinking right now in my mind, what kind of things how would I put this into my lectures? What are all the possibilities besides just kind of a fun activity? Anybody have any ideas on that?
I suppose if you're trying to have students see associations between things, you could, pick certain kinds of pictures that, might help them draw connections between two things that you're hoping they'll see connections between, maybe.
That's a great idea, Katie. Yeah, you for sure don't have to have it be random. The random is a kind of an exercise in practice and communication and kind of a wake-up exercise, but you could also pick particular images. Joe, I don't know when you came in, did you see the and hear the Pecha Kucha that I did earlier?
I saw the one that you did on cabins, and
okay.
I didn't see the one before that.
So before that, with the group I shared, and I will share this link again in the chat, a link to this session's materials, and part of that was what is called a Pecha Kucha, which is where you do actually choose your own images for 20 slides. So 20 slides, 20 individual images, and the slides auto-advance every 20 seconds. And that's a way that, so the presentation I did was actually a Pecha Kucha on what is Pecha Kucha. But students could use that, or instructors to present research, to present concepts, to share stories of experience. So that's more of a kind of formal plan process that takes a long time to come up with, because you can imagine if I said to you something quite a bit different, which would be, okay, so your topic is France, so you have 6 minutes with 20 slides to talk, to present to a class on France. You would spend a lot of time probably going through your photos, photos of friends and family, thinking about what you wanted to communicate with a group.
And can I ask you what the terms Pecha Kucha mean?
That's a good question. I do not recall. I think this Pecha Kuchas originated in Tokyo, Japan in 2003 by a group of architects who were kind of tired of getting these long-winded presentations from other architects. So they wanted to create a format that was both rigid and allowed for creativity.
Fantastic. I think it's a great idea, and I teach I teach one general methods course, and I have some science teachers, math teachers, language arts, and social studies teachers. And I'm just looking, I think this is, you just came up with my lesson plan for next week, thanks. That, can I do this from just the computer? It doesn't have to be on this online Blackboard format, is that right?
Correct. So you could use Google Presentation to set up slides. Are you talking about someone creating a Pecha Kucha or doing the?
I'm going to do this in class, say next week. Can I just go to the website, get her set up, and then we could do it? I could probably prepare a little short one for I would do with the Pecha Kucha. But as far as the Pecha Flicker, could we just do that right there as a classroom thing from a computer? And
yes, absolutely. And I just copied in the link to the Pecha Flickr site.
Okay, thanks. And Katie, as far as your question, I'll ask my wife. My wife is Japanese, and Japanese use a lot of onomatopoeia. So Pecha Pecha is very well likely could be meaning chattering or something like that. So I'll find out and I'll let you know. Thank you for letting me do that, though.
Does anyone else want to try to do a Pecha Flicker in the next few minutes? I promise you won't regret doing it if you decide to. Right, Jen. So in a Pecha Kucha, you're selecting your own images. That's definitely one where that could actually be part of an assessment for students, where they have an individual or group assignment where they're assigned to do a presentation on a given topic or area of research, or whatever related to their area, and then they know that the guidelines are it has to be 6 minutes, 20 slides, but they have liberty with the images. Katie, do you want to do one? Have you, yay, Katie! What are you going to talk about?
I'm not good at thinking on my feet. I have to think of a topic. I'm going to, how about Wolverines? I can't talk about Wolverines, but we could have pictures of Wolverines, I suppose. I don't know much about Wolverines. How about just Alaska? Can I talk about Alaska?
Yeah, sure. All right. Here we go. I think.
All right, here goes nothing.
Oh.
It's kind of slow.
I had it minimized.
One thing that you might miss when you live in Alaska is professional football. But the good thing is that there are lots of local high school games which you don't have to pay as much to attend, and they're just as exciting. And there's a lot of community spirit around some less formal sports with not quite so many rules, such as hiking and skiing and those kinds of things, more recreational individual sports, maybe than some team sports for us Alaskans. However, you can travel very quickly with one flight to Seattle or to Michigan. You might have to have 2 flights to get to Michigan if you really need to have that big crowd sporting experience. So apparently Wolverines are the names of many of these athletic teams, and in Alaska we have our share of mascots and school names. Wolverine, as it is a animal that we have here in Alaska. We also have some Michigan transplants in Alaska. It's got some similar weather, so Michigan people do survive here in Alaska. And when you are just trying to get out and get that exercise every single day, and you can't always do that in Alaska with the weather, so you have to have some indoor activities that you can come up with, such as watching TV while doing yoga. Sometimes you can watch those Saturday college football games while you're actually moving in front of the TV. We do have a lot of great hockey, and we probably have some hockey moms here in this audience. A lot of things revolve around hockey in Alaska, and it's really a fun sport to play in. And if you're lucky, you might actually see a real Wolverine in Alaska, and hopefully you won't see them fighting, at least not this close to you. And I have no idea what this has to do with a Wolverine, but apparently you get stunned if you see one and you go into shock.
Oh, Katie, that was so good. You made so many connections. I was not expecting all the sports photos. So that was a fun surprise. What'd you think, Katie? You did a great job.
Well, thanks. It is nice that you could pick your own topic, and I cheated by picking such a broad topic of Alaska. I think you guys had a maybe not so broad topic, so that's a good tip if we ever do this again. Pick something broad.
I know. France and Alaska and digital storytelling are all pretty broad, I think. It's a good way I've found, too, though, to talk about specific projects. So, for example, I did one on Quality Matters, which some of you may have heard of, which is a online course design guidelines. And so it's very detailed and specific, so it really made me work my brain to think about. So it's something you could do on your own too, or even with a peer. You don't necessarily have to do it with an audience, just to kind of get the creative juices flowing and kind of stretch the mind a little bit.
I have a question because I'm thinking of an application that I could use it for. One of the limitations this particular semester is I have a couple of students who, every time my application's due, they get kicked out. So can you could they do it, record it as they're doing it, and then can you bring video into the whiteboard? Because I've never asked that question before or thought about it.
That's a good question. You could actually absolutely have them record the Pecha Kucha, and then that becomes a digital story. You can play, you can use Screencast-O-Matic or other screen capturing applications. I believe even in PowerPoint you can record audio right to the slides. Collaborate slows down quite a bit with video. It is possible to use video, but what I would suggest with that is maybe if this is for an online course, having students post those videos to a discussion or blog, and then other students can comment or have a discussion around them. Or that's a good idea too. Yeah, Katie, you want to go ahead and say what you do?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying, you're right. Doing it asynchronously is really a good way to do it. And in fact, we do have a asynchronous class this year that is, they're making videos and putting them in the discussion board, and it seems to be working really well. But when you do Screencast-O-Matic or one of those other screencasts, it gives you a URL. So what we usually do when we're sharing videos is just paste that URL in the chat. Everybody can click on it and look at it.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking, because you could all be in Collaborate, you bring the URL up, and they go out to it. Everybody then comes back and talks about it. That could work.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the other thing we'd have to think about how Prezi would work, because I love the way you can present remotely using Prezi. We'll have to play around with that. That might work.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I really do like the aspect of this where they are limited with the time, and so they have to get their mind organized and tell everything right in that period of time. There's a lot of value in that, so I really thank you for sharing this.
Well, thank you for joining, and I'll stay on for a few minutes just to make sure if anyone has any questions. I really appreciate all your time today and your participation. I do want to share, and a special thanks to Katie for joining today and really co-facilitating with me. I appreciate that, Katie. I know I came in last minute to the session from another meeting, and this was a lot of fun. And if any of you ever want to do Pecha Flickers or work on a Pecha Kucha, please give me a call or come see me, because it would be a lot of fun. We could, I don't know, maybe I need to start like a monthly Pecha Flicker club or something to kind of keep my brain fresh. One more thing is just to, if you all could, please go to the evaluation for the eTech Fair, just a brief survey to let us know what you think, so we can make sure to, improve our sessions. We're always looking to, for new ideas and looking for ways to improve our presentation techniques. And then, Katie, since you're in here and have been so helpful already, could you, yes, exactly, drinking and thinking. Would you mind talking about the badges a little bit?
Sure. So we just have had requests for some evidence of participation in professional development by faculty. So this year we thought we'd do badges, and since Melissa's group has used Credly before, we thought we'd be consistent. And so you do have to join Credly for free to be able to claim your badges, but we have, if you fill out the survey, it asks you how you might apply some of the things that you'll learn. So that's part of what you have to do besides just attending the sessions. You do have to fill out that evaluation survey and say how you might apply some of the things. And then you know, we'll see. We'd like your feedback on whether this is useful to you, but you can earn badges, which can be, you know, then, you know, right now you're still doing retention files on paper, but hopefully that'll change soon. But in the meantime, I suppose you could print them out.
That's a good question, Jane. Can you do one survey for 2 sessions? I'm going to have to defer to Katie again. Yes. Yes, you can.
Yeah, we set it up so you could fill it out multiple times and just mark the 1 session at a time, or that you could just fill it out once and mark multiple sessions.
Wonderful. They thought of everything, really. Okay, well, thank you all very much for participating. And Katie, again, thanks for being here. And Joe, thanks for letting us put you on a spot. I had a lot of fun today. This was definitely a highlight of my day. So I appreciate the opportunity to talk with all of you.